You bet. Beautiful day for some football, and I appreciate all the fans that came and supported the guys today. It was a great event, too, at Denny Chimes, celebrating our captains from the 2025 season. Great tradition that is unique, and it's awesome seeing those guys again, too, before the NFL draft. But, thought the guys competed again. Unique situation with our practices, 2 of them still being next week. So we're not done yet. Get back to work Tuesday and Thursday. Still got a lot of opportunities to get better, a lot of situational work that we can get to. So, good back and forth, much like many of the other scrimmages. You can see how we orchestrate it with the ball and where we spot it. And so, there's some advantages the offense gets towards the end. We got to get that red zone work in. But there's a lot of things to learn, a lot of situational stuff that we can get better at.
Thank you, Coach. Let's start on the right side, front row, the chase.
Toward the end of the scrimmage, when y'all went red zone, we saw Kalen and Russell almost exclusively. Can you just touch on why you really didn't split the quarterback reps in the red zone so much?
Yeah, we just had to limit Austin just with some stuff. So just that was why. So just this week was a little bit where Austin, our Kalen got more reps just with some things Austin's going through. So Austin was good for the most part, but I wasn't able to finish it out. But he'll be fine.
Let's go to Charlie on the back right of the room.
Just kind of sticking with that, we saw Noah Rogers leave the field. Do you have an update on him?
Yeah, we'll have to get him evaluated here. So unfortunate, with him getting dinged up. So we'll kind of see what that looks like. He'll go get the MRIs and all that kind of stuff, and we'll see what happens. We'll have more information here as we go through the spring and summer.
Let's go to Nick on the far left.
Yeah, what did you think of the running game today and what you saw from those backs in the offensive line?
Again, there's times where, in a game you'd try to have the approach of wearing down. You work plays off of plays. You're going out there and it's 1s and 2s and, you're back and forth. So sometimes it's even hard for me to sit back there and think about what group had the most consistency. A couple seams at times that I remember, I think, with the 1s, and that's really who you're trying to hone in on. Both sides of the ball, trying to keep it simple to get guys out there. So there's more complexity that you can have with the defensive scheme. So there's more things that you can do offensively as well. But I think there's a few things that we can hang our hat on that we can execute well. There's some backs you guys saw who stood out and who can make the cuts and who ran some people over when they needed to, who got it done, and maybe who's still got some work to do. So offensive line-wise, what I do feel is that their communication, their technique and execution is getting better, and it's not something that happens overnight. They'll continue to work. Still got a whole week ahead of us of practice, and would expect them to get better. I think from the center on out, though, the communication, guys are on the same page. Not a lot of guys busting assignments. It's going to happen here and there still in the spring. New faces in certain spots, but I thought for the most part, we're getting a play off to a good start here in the early stages of spring.
Let's go front row on the left, Colin.
I saw Mike Carroll there at right guard. What do you like about him there? And is he still kind of bouncing between the tackle and guard spot, or do you like him at guard?
The last part of spring, he played mostly guard, and just we loved the fat physicality he brings. Played some guard early on when he came in here. Knew he could be pretty good at it, really good at it. And there's some things that he can do, against the big matchups, and then also in the pass pro, he can get out there in space because of what he can do as a tackle. So he's a flex guy for sure, but he has taken, to answer your question, he has taken more guard reps here the latter part of the spring.
Let's go to Joe right in the middle of the room here.
Thanks. Kalen, back to the quarterbacks. Just to be clear, is Austin hurt? You said he was limited.
Yeah, he's dinged up a little bit. He'll be all right, though. He'll be fine. Yep.
Let's go to the left side. Jimmy, go ahead.
Two-pronged question. Can you tell us the ways you feel like Ryan improved during the spring? And then secondly, is it still too early to tell how EJ might be able to contribute once he's up to full speed?
Yeah, with EJ, just not a lot of, reps the first couple practices and really nothing since. So it is, you're going off of what you saw there and you have optimism. There's a lot to learn for him. Even just the contact, the physicality that comes along with the next level up. But, from athleticism, speed, got the strength, you're optimistic. There's a lot of promise. And so it's going to be pedal to the metal for him, learning the schemes, getting comfortable with the guys around him. Obviously, there's pass protection that's highly important for a running back as well. Ryan's consistency was something all spring long that I know he should be feeling good about, but Ryan's expectations are just like all of ours, that, we expect elite performance, and, he's going to just continue to grind. He's a leader for us in our football team, and he can be, because he works as hard as anyone that's out there. And so it's paying off. It's showing up. There's been a consistency, and I know people are always going to ask about catching the ball, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the consistency there. Not making just the easy ones, also making the hard ones, as we've seen him and get accustomed to him making.
Let's go to the left side, right in the middle.
Hey, Coach, what is the biggest thing that defensively that you think needs improvement?
I think we just got to continue to execute. When we have pressures and things like that, we've gotten a lot better. That was something we kind of slotted as an area we can improve on from last season. It's just, we know the different variations of things that we can do with our defense. There's a lot that we've put in. Up front, I think it's just continuing to build and grow and see how far those guys can go, because we have a pretty good idea with the secondary of what they're capable of. So you're always going to work on tackling. You're always going to work on pursuit. The effort stuff is got to happen. That's got to be a must. And I guess I don't really feel like we've ever had issues with that. Our guys are accountable to it. So now it's just a matter of execution and blitz patterns, execution of their base stuff. We want Coach Womack to be able to have everything at his fingertips that he needs to go be successful. And I know they're taking those steps daily to do that.
We got time for two more questions. We'll start in the front left, Katie.
Obviously, it's a little different in a scrimmage when you're not going to actually sack the quarterback. But what did you see from the defensive front and generating pressure, and just kind of throughout the spring from that group?
Yeah, and it's hard when the quarterback's not contact. There's sometimes, I get caught looking down the field once in a while trying to see things too, and all of a sudden there's a guy in the quarterback's face. So, I thought they did a good job getting pressure in different ways. The key to me is that they're all working together, and I guess that would go back to the previous question, things we can continue to work on. I thought last year, one of the ways that we improved our pressure on the quarterback was by everyone doing their job and working in unison and not giving lanes for the quarterback to step up. I think once in a while, there's still lanes for the quarterback to move up. I saw Keelan right at the end here do exactly that, get out in some space. He'd have a run-pass option. Puts a lot of pressure on your defensive backs, or back half of it when that happens. So to me, that's an area where we can continue to improve, with our defensive front.
We'll finish up with Kennington, second row on the right.
After the last previous scrimmage, you said that it was like a heavy install week for the quarterbacks and for the offense, and that kind of contributed to how they played. Based off of what you saw today, did you feel like this was a step forward and an improvement in kind of what you see from both of your?
Yeah, I thought they looked more comfortable today. And again, both sides kind of trying to get back to the basics. At the end, I could feel both sides trying to get to some of those red zone concepts that we haven't practiced as much. And then also you saw a couple maybe receivers not getting lined up with a lot of confidence. And now the quarterback's double check. And that's the stuff we got to work on next week again, with getting to just clean all the time, to where there's not a question whether someone knows their responsibility. So again, that goes along with the installs. Red zone is a part where you gotta be clean. If you're not on the same page, we saw a takeaway. I can't say it was because someone didn't know do their job or know what they were supposed to do, but that's a big deal to us. We were very good in the red zone last year as a team, pretty balanced between offense and defense, and our execution down there. So got to keep working on it. We'll do a lot with 2-minute drill and things like that next week too. We haven't done any of that, just with a lot of new faces. Wanted to get our base stuff in, and next week. We'll get into a lot of that situation, red zone, 2-minute drill, things like that.
All right, thank you, Coach.
You bet. Thank you.